Have you ever wanted cake, but you didn't want to make a whole cake because it was for dessert for just you and your husband, or dessert for just you and a friend, or it was a cake for an infant's birthday party? Well, today we're going to talk about how to make a half cake. I actually have a half cake pan. You can use just a regular pan, just one side. But I have measured out and figured out how to use a regular cake mix and make 2 half cakes out of it. So let's get started. The first step is to preheat the oven according to the directions on the box. Now that our oven's preheating, we want to mix our wet ingredients. Our recipe calls for 1 cup of water, a half a cup of vegetable oil, and 3 eggs. It's easy to cut a half a cup of water, and it's easy to cut a half a cup of vegetable oil in half, but 3 eggs, it's pretty tough. So what I did is I took an egg and I put it in a measuring cup and then filled the rest of it with water to a half a cup. So I pour that in, and then I'll add the other egg. Now I need 1/4 of a cup of oil. And we're going to mix these. The next thing I do is I empty my cake mix into a large gallon baggie. It's so that I can store it for the next time I make a half a cake. So I've measured this out, and it's 1.5 cups. Actually, for today, I'm going to take this off now because it's easier to get in there. 2 3/4 cups because it's just easier. Dirtying 2 measuring cups. And I'm going to zip this up for the next time I make a half cake. The mix looks like we normally would mix a cake. Now we need to grease our pan, and I'm actually going to go ahead and use the small half cake pan, and I'll use 2 of these. Actually, my son told me this, and I find it to be true. In order to keep your cake from sticking, you really do need an obscene amount of oil. Otherwise, your cake does end up sticking. I'm going to pour half the mix in. And we're going to take this and put it in our preheated oven. Now let's consult our box and see what it says for 2 8-inch rounds. It says 28 minutes, but I'm going to set my timer for 20 minutes to check it, because remember, you're cooking much less, half. My timer is set for 20 minutes, and we'll come back and check to see if our cake is done. The timer's gone off, and I've taken the cake out of the oven to check and see if it's done. The skewer came out wet, so it's not done yet. So I'll put the cake back in the oven for another 5 minutes. The 5-minute timer went off, and our cake is now done. We need to let our cake cool down before we can put icing on it. The total cooking time for our cake was 25 minutes. Here's our finished product. It's very cute. Remember, we made 2 of these little cakes out of a half a cake mix. The directions on how to make a half a cake out of a full cake mix are in the description section. This is Donalyn Fraser with Living Your Best Life at 60. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day.